Okay, so it is the dawning of a new morning, the dawning of a new year. We're now moving into 56 AR. It is the morning after the Hellwinter's Feast. Most of you have gotten a good night's sleep. George, you may or may not have gotten a good night's sleep for Saladin. I'll leave that with you.
Fuck.
Has he got to like roll a check for that?
I mean, he did forget to restore his health, so I'm assuming he didn't get a very long rest.
That's true. But I'm assuming...
I did remember to do it eventually.
I am assuming that after the events of the feast last night, you all make your way back to the keg for breakfast. During the events of the evening, you each did have a arrival of a magical chest containing an item, which each of you selected. I don't know if all of you actually did let me know your selections so that I could add them to your sheets before tonight. Hopefully you have added them yourselves if you did not let me know.
I added mine myself.
I need to add mine. I picked a cube, didn't I?
You did pick the cube.
Sam, what did you choose?
Okay.
I did.
I picked up the technomagnetic scope.
Hmm.
I picked the hammer.
in this case-
It wasn't an earth shaker before the night, but it was by the end of the night.
Something was shaken but not stirred.
Then I'll pick up the heals.
Okay, you're going to pick
I
up the
think
heals.
They are quite nice healings.
Was it the Technomantic Cube it was called? I can't remember fully its full name.
It is a
I'm adding it now.
technomantic cube, yes.
Excellent.
Techno, it comes up in the item list.
Yeah. Techno.
Essentially, it is the Third Age of Alendar version of a portable hole.
Oh, shit.
Let's hide all of our illegal contraband in there.
Yeah, but you cannot use it to like make a hole through the wall and like go over the wall, right?
No, correct.
It's just like
when
a
you
space
open
item.
it creates a space that is not normally there. But no, it doesn't allow
But
you
now
to
you know
pass
what I
through
wanna get, don't you?
things.
A bag
There
of
will be
holding.
bodies there, right?
It's basically a room of requirement.
Yeah, but now all I need to do is get a bag of holding and we're going to the astral plane, boys.
Fuck yeah! Go back to the Rock of Brawl, fuck it up.
I have been in a bag of holding before.
No, I think I think
almost
we're
ended
making
up in
reference
the,
there
the
to
second
the
session.
oldest Armageddon weapon in D&D. The Arrow of Absolute Obliteration.
It's a beauty.
I like a bit of obliteration.
Do you not know
Yeah,
that
of course
one,
you do.
George?
Does it still exist?
Not
in
as much as
5e?
Mo last night. I think Mo didn't like being obliterated last night.
Yeah, you know that mystery grenade? Like, it's now...
Does that arrow still exist in 5e?
Do you need like a dexterity check to see if it goes off while you're using it?
Technically, you could still create it rules as written, yes.
Ah.
Case, could you help me add the thing to my inventory? There's only just two of them here, and it says it's like in ever safe potion pouch.
Yes, it's because I have not added the bag to D&D Beyond, so I'll have to sort that out. I'll sort it out after the session for that one.
Potions exist, though, I think.
Yeah, the
right?
potions exist, but the bag itself does not, so I'll need to get that added. Yeah, I'll sort that out after the session.
Guys, wanted to ask one more thing. Grenades from yesterday. From Case's recap, I have two. Is that right? So I have the two smokes. Someone else has the one special one.
Yeah, I've got the mystery grenade.
Oh, I had one of the smokes.
Yeah, because
okay. Did you end up splitting up the smokes? Okay. I couldn't remember that you
Yeah,
split
you
up.
had
Vlad
to
and
check
Sam
whether it blew up when my bag disintegrated.
That's right. You're right. It did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Vlad has one.
All right, then I only have one.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Theodore has one. Zethian has one, and Saladin has the mystery grenade.
Or as written in my notes, we have smonk smonk fuck nose.
That's it.
So you're so eloquent with the words.
One day he'll write an intelligence script.
What I'm curious about though with this cube is if there's even a something inside of it. Am I going to open it and there's a dead body in there that was left from the last person that fell into it?
Don't know. You have to wait till you open it and see.
Might find out.
Tesseract.
Guess what I'm doing as soon as we start.
Are you putting the cube down in the middle of the keg?
Absolutely.
Oh
on
god.
the breakfast table.
Bearing in mind that the only downside of the cube is that you do need a clear 10-foot by 10-foot area to open it in.
True. Might do it outside the keg then, by the door.
Okay. You outside the keg.
On the way to the bathroom, so someone just falls into it.
You step outside the door of the keg and just create a giant 10 by 10 hole.
Exactly.
Okay.
Big Mo just falls into it as he's waddling out of the keg.
You set the cube down on the ground, tap the activator on it, and take a step back. It unfolds itself, opening up into a area of ground there, and you have a look inside of it. You actually do notice that there's been no items left within this space. But one of the things that you do notice that is different between this cube and a portable hole, as it were, is a portable hole is literally just a spherical hole in the ground. When this opens up, you get the cubicle space, and actually inside of it, for one thing, there is light, which the hole does not have. So the interior of it is automatically lit. You can see within it. And the other difference is that all around the edges of this space, it comes equipped with shelving and brackets for holding and storing various things. This is an upgraded version of the portable hole, basically. It could be turned into that, but it does not come as one by default. At least this one hasn't. There are places in the city you might be able to buy that.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop down and I'm gonna have like a closer look around. Then I'm gonna have a
give me an investigation check.
An
11. You do find an additional pouch with 19 gold that someone obviously forgot to clear out of this.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, and what else I'm going to do is, whilst I'm in here, I'm going to place the mirrored necklace in here, and then place it on a shelf, and then I'm going to come back out and close the hole.
Okay.
And then put the cube back in me robe.
Okay. Yeah, you pick it up. It turns in. It's about softball sized whenever it's collapsed down. Fairly portable cube. And you head back inside.
Go back inside, get my.
I'll say that you are.
And eggs.
Yep, you are getting
Nice
back in just about the
slice of
time that
bread.
Saladin is coming down. Along with Mo.
So look up at him knowingly, share a smirk, and just go, good night.
An adequate night, yes.
Mo kind of
put a cushion on the
sees.
chair and offer the chair to Mo.
Mo actually kind of sees all of you there and doing a little bit of a walk of shame, mumbles something about the fact that he has he's on duty in a few hours and immediately scoots out the door.
Just hears barreling laughter from behind the door as he leaves.
Is he like slightly waddling side to side?
Oh, he's got a full penguin walk going on. Always just with a big grin on his face. Sits himself down.
I'm sure he'll be on a light desk duty today.
Hopefully he's on patrol duty.
Well, he was
Hopefully
definitely
he's
patrolling
on a
last
horse
night.
just to be in absolute pain for the rest of the day.
That man will now enjoy being vaulted from horses.
You lot are all horrible.
Yes, we are.
No, we're amazing.
I was biting my tongue to not make the situation worse.
All right. Yeah, Davroth does come over and serve all of you your breakfast. You are the first ones in the keg this morning, as you are quite a few mornings. But especially this morning, with it being basically the day after Hellwinter, most people are probably in bed fairly late, or at least not heading out to a pub breakfast. What are you guys' plans for the
So
day?
what do we want to do today?
Plans for the day.
Do we want to hit up the Salt and Kraken?
I think we do have to hit up
Yeah.
the Kraken.
Or do we want to see the... We've done the junk dealer, haven't we? That's where we got...
Yeah, we've dealt with the junk dealer.
Haven't done the Alchemist yet for Brimstone if we wanted to.
I thought someone was dealing with the Kraken last night.
There's a bit of Phil McCracken there. Phil Mo's Kraken.
A gentleman never tells.
Luckily, you're no gentleman.
Nothing gentle about that.
So what have we got? We got the Alchemist, we got the Kraken, and we was going to head to one of the more magical villages.
Isn't it fight day soon?
Let's see. What day are we on?
I think you said it was Fridays, wasn't it? Or the equivalent.
Bear with me.
No, I think it's a Wednesday, actually. Or equivalent.
I mean, it's
I wonder
definitely
if for the
been a
next
few
fight
days
I
since
can,
the
like-
last one.
How have I
For the
lost
next fight,
my
I
own
can have you in
calendar?
Greece, George. I can
Yeah.
have you in Greece for the next fight, so they can't grapple you.
Yes, it's
Oh,
a Wednesday.
It's greased up, man.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
think
mean, we
that's
could
going to be
probably
in a
hit up
couple
the
of-
Alchemist on the way to the Kraken.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it's
currently
gonna be a
on
couple of days.
Wednesday, and the next fight is not until Friday.
Next fight's when we fuck something up accidentally and cause it.
Yeah, so we don't want to go to a village because we won't make it back in time for said fight.
No, we won't make it back in time.
But we can leave after the fight and probably still make it back in time.
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as we don't stay in village too long.
I got any cloth?
Is it wrong that part of me wants to test out the hammer in the middle of the pub just to see what happens? I'm not going to do that, but
Yeah, have you got
Like
any
a
old
kid at
tables
Christmas
you
with a
don't
new
care
toy.
about any much?
just
Or he
going
puts the
over
hammer
Dad's
through the
like, look
firefly
at my new toy! Yeah!
and he drops it.
Whilst we're
I mean-
sitting here, because I'm like prepping and everything for the fight, and with that in mind, because obviously I want to make more gold, and we've got the Kraken and stuff coming up. I've got 2 lots of clothes, technically, in my inventory. Can I shred some of that up so I've got scraps of cloth?
Certainly can.
Are you making
Excellent.
Molotovs?
No, not Molotovs. But I'm sort of like measuring up your fists whilst pulling at cloth and wrapping ball bearings in the cloth, so you've got some extra punching juice.
Ooh. Homemade knuckle dusters.
Pretty much. So I was just wondering if I can be tinkering with that whilst eating my breakfast, just getting it's a simple bit of cloth and ball bearings, really.
Yeah, just don't drop the ball bearings in your sausages.
No.
Yeah,
No, I'll
you
be
can
okay.
certainly
I'm not-
tinker something like that together.
Yeah. So I'm just like
Can I
grabbing
make
one of your
Molotov
hands.
cocktails?
I mean, technically we can if we've got booze.
I have oil. I have spare cloves as well. I've got gunpowder.
Just don't punch a bag, that's all.
I can set stuff on fire.
So yeah,
I
I'm
can
gonna
light
just like
And
randomly
and
grab
a
one of
voice
George's
comes
hands.
from a voice does come from your shoulder. I set fires.
Yeah, so I'm just
Want fire
wrapping
now?
Coles' hands. Oh, no fire just
Not
yet.
right now. Not right now,
Oh.
please no.
Can we train it so that if it sees us throwing a Molotov, it lights it for us?
You don't need to eat. You just put it in front of him, and he'll torch the piece of cloth in the end of it before you throw it.
No,
Yeah,
but
but only
technically
you're
you
wearing
wouldn't
it.
need
If
cloth
it
in
can
it.
spit fire,
You wouldn't need cloth in it. If you could throw it, it's going to basically be like a grenade then, because you'll throw it, he'll fireball it, it'll shatter into tons of tiny pieces and explode.
So you're turning it into a shrapnel Molotov.
yeah, I've got spare ball bearings
So
and spare bullets.
We've
we
gone
can
from
put in the bottom of
Molotovs
it.
to firebombs.
I mean, technically, you could just throw a container of
So
oil
much
over
for Geneva
someone, and it
solutions.
would ignite whenever you hit them with the fire breath.
True.
Yeah, but we
See,
want the extra pain of shrapnel.
I'm just going to grab like one of Coles' hands at a time and wrap it in the cloth with ball bearings.
So what we do is you get a barrel full of oil, put a load of ball bearings in it as well, and then throw it.
So yeah, your hands are now officially like murder knuckle dusters too, with ball bearings and cloth around them.
Give me a tinkering
Hell
check
yeah.
to see how good that turns out. While I'm sitting here
Okay,
thinking
what's that one gonna
of
be?
Sam and George playing Baldur's Gate and just stacking up explosive barrels on people.
It was glorious.
When I blew us off a building to save our lives.
What is the
I mean, we
tinker
were
check
safe,
gonna
you
be?
Sorry?
Well, no, I also had to save.
What check is what
Carlo.
roll is it, or is it just going to be a D20?
So Tinkerer's tools, if you're proficient with them, it's going to be a D20 plus your intelligence.
Okay.
Plus your proficiency modifier
fine,
if you're proficient with the tools.
proficient. That's true. That's true. Mm. Proficiency. I am proficient with tools. This is now me learning how to do it on. on thingy.
Yeah, if you just you can just literally roll a d20 and then add the modifiers if you like.
That's going to be easier. So it's a 12.
Okay. You think they'll hold up probably. The way that you put them together right now, they are probably not going to be multi-use, but they'd probably last for a fight. Yes. You'd need to do a bit better work to make something that's actually going to like be reusable.
That's
Gonna need some tougher leather or something to try and make them stick about.
Mm-hmm.
Does Davros have any spare bottles for us to make Molotovs with?
Are you asking him for
just a couple
Molotov
of-
bottles?
No, just empty bottles that might be being thrown out, so that I can experiment.
Gonna waste
with them.
the alcohol.
I mean, I'll drink the alcohol if that's what it takes.
I mean, there are some empty bottles after last night's feast, so if you want a couple empty bottles, yes, he can give you those.
I wouldn't say no.
Only a couple.
Well,
I would highly
Saladin
suggest
asked
keep
for a
these
couple
in my
bottles.
backpack
He
in
didn't
case any
ask for
accidents
like.
involving fire occur.
All right.
How many bottles is a couple? Have we got like 2?
He will give you 4 bottles.
And how much of the miscellaneous oil that I have would it take to make a Molotov, do you reckon?
You're probably looking at half of an oil flask per one.
Okay, so I could probably make about 2.
Per one. The more oil you put into them, obviously, the
Okay, so I
more
could probably make about
damage
2.
they're going to do. The more oil you put into them, if you were to make them with a full bottle, it would do more damage than one with half a bottle, for example. If you were to make them with a full bottle, it would do more damage than one with half a bottle, for example.
Does anyone have any spare flammable liquids?
I mean,
Oh,
you
well,
could just
I guess-
go and buy
Does
some
anyone
bottles
have
of
any
booze.
spare flammable liquids?
I mean,
Oh,
you
well,
could just
I
go
have
and buy
Alchemist
some
fire
bottles of
as well.
booze.
I do have Alchemist.
Yeah, Alchemist
fire
Fire
as
you
well.
don't need the whole Molotov thing with. It's just already that. Yeah, Alchemist Fire you don't need the whole Molotov
but,
thing with.
homemade
It's
is
just
good.
already that.
And extra chaos. Yeah, but homemade is good.
Then
How
bottles
much is
of
like
oil.
an extra vodka or the equivalent? So half oil, half booze.
Then
How
bottles
much is
of
like
oil.
a bottle of vodka or the equivalent?
You're asking
so, half oil, half
Davros?
booze.
You're
Yeah,
asking cheap vodka per bottle a gold?
Yeah.
I mean, cheap vodka per bottle
Okay,
a
yeah, so
gold?
I can afford a bottle of cheap vodka, and then 50-50
Okay,
oil
yeah, so
vodka. I can both are flammable. Afford a bottle of cheap vodka, and then 50-50
that'll work.
oil vodka. Both are flammable.
Yeah, that'll work.
I hope he doesn't set himself on fire while making these. I hope he doesn't set himself
Do you
on
want me to
fire.
pour
while
some
making
ball bearings
these.
into the bottle too?
I
Do
mean,
you want me to pour some ball bearings into
why
the
not?
bottle too?
Just make sure when we're all in cover when you
I
throw
mean-
one of these.
why not?
Just make sure when we're all in cover when you throw one of these.
The voice from your shoulder says, "Set fire to bottle." The voice from your shoulder
No.
says, "Set fire to bottle."
Stop it.
Only when
No.
thrown.
Stop it. Later. To bad
Only
people.
when thrown.
Like
Okay,
Frenchman?
gotta be careful with that
Later,
definition,
to
because by
bad
his
people.
definition, I'm bad people.
Like
Okay,
Frenchman?
gotta
I
be
meant
careful
what I
with that
said.
definition, because by his definition, I'm bad people.
I meant what I
need some
said.
fireproof fucking robes. I need some fireproof fucking
I can cover you in
robes.
some inflammable grease.
That's not a
just-
terrible
I can
idea.
cover you in some
You're just going to see him
inflammable
walking
grease.
around now wearing a full hazmat anytime he's near me.
That's
You're
not a
just
terrible idea. I'm gonna be a
idea.
fucking slip and
You're
slide
just gonna
through the
see him walking
streets.
around
I'm not
now wearing a
walking.
full
I'm
hazmat
just
anytime
diving
he's near
face
me.
first through the
I'm
streets.
gonna be a
fucking
covered in
slip
grease.
Oh, you're falling down.
I'm
You're
not
just being the
walking.
greased up guy
I'm
from
just
Family
diving
Guy.
face first through the streets covered in grease.
Oh, you're falling
If it's
down.
the
You're just being the
inflammable grease
greased
I'm
up
in,
guy from Family
it
Guy.
could be fine. No, oh fuck. If it's
least
the
you won't get
inflammable
friction
grease I'm
burns.
in, it could be fine.
At least you won't
Yeah.
get
Could have
friction
done with some of that
burns.
last night.
Right, so we're going to head to...
Who says he
Yeah.
didn't
Could have done
have
with
it
some of
last?
that last night.
Right, so we're going to head to the Alchemist.
Why there's only one flask of oil left? Who says he didn't have it last?
Yeah, we're going to head to the Alchemist.
Why there's only
We're
one
going to head to
flask
the
of oil
Alchemist
left?
via, well, the Kraken
True.
via the Alchemist. We're going to head to the Alchemist
Guys, just
via, well,
to,
the
to
Kraken
let you
via
guys
the
aware, I did
Alchemist.
have a dream,
Sounds
guys, just at night, and
Oh,
it
no.
was to let you guys aware. I did have a dream, 3 voices at night in there, and
Oh,
I have
no.
about the Alchemist. So there was one of them, I think, is the voice that we've heard in there, and I have not rest of them, I'm not sure where. One of them, I think, is the voice that we've heard. Seems really scary, let's put it this way. The rest of them, I'm not sure. And they're not a fan. One of them seems like seems really scary, let's put it this way. And one of them wants me to kill him, which, you know, we are up for killing either way. So just like one of them wants me to kill him, which, you know, we are up for killing either way. So just like it might be up for that. Be prepared.
Unrelenting pressure from the voices in your head are telling us to kill a man.
Something might be up with that.
Unrelenting
Yeah,
pressure from the
Alchemist,
voices
but
in
we're
your head are
hoping to
telling
get
us to
shit
kill a
from.
man.
I'm just going to plug the
We're an
ears of the
Alchemist,
cloak
but
while
we're
you say
hoping
all
to
this.
get shit from.
I'm just going to plug
Well,
the
look
ears
at
of the
it.
cloak while you say all this.
Yeah, let's see
All
how
right.
it goes.
So are you guys heading to the Alchemists?
Yeah, let's see
All
how
right.
it goes.
So are you guys heading to the Alchemists?
Yeah, no, we're heading there a little bit more warily now, I guess. Yeah, no, we're heading there a little bit more warily now, I guess.
Because, oh, thanks for the heads up.
Theodore's
At
revelation.
least because, oh, thanks for the heads up.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll mosey on down to the Alchemist.
You head across town
Mosey
towards
down
the
to
Alchemist's
the
shop. His shop is just on the edge of the. His shop is just on the magic district edge of the. And as you get to the address that you were provided by his daughter previously, as you get to the address that you were provided by his daughter previously, nice. Well appointed and very well dressed shop location. Well appointed and sign on the door shop location identifies the place as being referred to sign as on the belly of the beast. Identifies the place as being referred to as painted the belly of the beast on the door, and that there's a painted icon on the door, bizarrely like a kind of looks giant manta ray, like a with like giant snow globe city on its back, with like a snow globe city on its back.
Would any of us recognize any connection or any reference of that? Would any of us recognize
you can roll me
any
history. It's going to be a very high
or
DC.
any reference of that?
You can roll me history. It's going to be a very high DC.
No, that's Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, I rolled 20.
No, that's Jesus.
I mean, I rolled 20.
With a 20, you have no idea. With a 20, you have no idea. Yeah, this is a very esoteric reference here. Yeah, this is a very. I'm actually curious, out of character, if Richard the player knows what the reference I'm making is. I'm actually curious, out of character, if Richard the player knows what the reference I'm making
I have
is.
a vague
but the character
idea.
certainly doesn't.
But yeah, I was hoping my character would know, but a 20 wasn't enough.
No, you're looking at about.
I was hoping my character would have known.
For this information in this world, no, you're looking at about a DC of about 30 for information. For this information in this world, you're looking at a DC of about 30 for information on what this thing is. There are less than a handful of people on this planet, probably. There are less than a handful of people on this planet, probably, who get the reference that he's making with this
If
door.
I roll a die, can we add my result to it and see if we get 30? If I roll a die, can we?
No,
add
that's
my
not how it
Jamming
works.
our heads together,
See if
headbutting
we
each
get
other to
30.
get knowledge.
No,
You
no,
know how
that's
hard
not
it
how
is
it
for me to
Jamming
roll
our
works.
heads
double
together,
digits? Surely that's
headbutting
like
each
you know,
other
a
to
bit of
get knowledge.
compensation.
No,
You know how hard it is for me to roll double
Man,
digits?
I've got this
Surely
obscure
that's
book
like,
that
you
I've
know, a
just
bit of
found on the
compensation.
street.
Yeah, there was this
I've got
book
this
in the
obscure
cube we
book
found
that I've
earlier.
just found on the
Good night,
street.
Yeah, there was this book in the cube we
um,
found earlier.
good night. But yeah, you approach the shop, and I'm assuming you head in. But yeah, you approach the shop, and I'm assuming you head in.
Yeah, we're just gonna wander on in.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just
Who
gonna
is
wander
heading
on
into
in.
the shop first? Okay. Who is heading into the shop first?
I'll go
That's a
first
very
if we
good
want.
question.
Put the target up front in case anything goes wrong. I'll go
That's a
first
very
if we
good
Saladin
question.
heads in. Who follows him
target
in?
up front in case anything goes wrong.
Saladin
following
heads
him
in. Who follows him in?
Yeah, I'm just taking a little
Following him
sketch
in.
of the sign because it's like, yeah, I'm just taking a little
Okay.
sketch of the
So
sign.
Saladin
'cause it's
heads
like
in
piqued my
first.
curiosity.
Theodore follows, and the other two
Saladin
of you are still stood
heads in
outside.
first.
Theodore follows, and the other two of you are still stood outside. Roll me perception, except for Theodore. Everyone, roll me perception, except
Theodore, you're
for
definitely
Theodore.
going to see
this.
22, baby.
Theodore, you're
That's my
definitely
only
going
good
to
roll
see
of the night.
this.
22, baby. That's my only good roll of the night.
Even with +5.
Jeez. A 12 with a plus
Even
5.
with +5.
Jeez. A 12 with a plus 5. And what does
It's usually
Zethian
Sam.
see?
Oh no, wait, sorry, it's double
Yikes.
digits.
And what does
It's usually
Zethian
Sam.
15. Okay.
Oh no, wait, sorry, it's double digits.
So everyone except for the distracted
15.
Warforged sees this. So everyone except for the
Saladin,
distracted
you head in,
Warforged
no problem. And as
sees
you
this.
step into the shop, you see
Saladin, you head in, no problem. And
lovely,
as you step into the shop, you
alchemist
see bottles all over,
lovely,
well-appointed
labeled
alchemist,
this, that, and the other
shop.
Theodore,
Bottles
as
all
you
over
step through the
various
door,
things labeled with
the
this, that, and the
first
other.
thing you notice is a
Theodore,
tingling
as you step
sensation
through the
on
door,
the back of your neck.
The first thing you notice is a
second
tingling
thing that you
sensation
notice
on
is
the
that
back of your neck. White runes.
The second
along
thing that you
the
notice
edge
is
of the
that
door frame. White
light
runes
up
along
right
the edge of the door
glaring
frame.
white.
Light up.
Go ahead and
bright,
give me a wisdom
glaring
saving throw.
white. Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, 15.
With a 15, you freeze in place.
15.
Unable to move. With a 15, you freeze in place. At which point, Saladin, being the only
Unable
one
to move.
inside, you notice that
At
the
which point,
elderly,
Saladin, being the only
very,
one inside,
frail,
you
bony
notice
looking,
that the
elderly, very
gentleman behind the counter,
frail, bony
seeing
looking
the
runes light up, and the person
gentleman
behind the counter
door
seeing
draws
the
a very
runes light up,
large,
and the person frozen in the
multi-barreled
door black powder
draws
weapon
a
and starts
very
aiming it at Theodore.
large,
Multi-barreled black powder weapon and starts aiming it at Theodore. And I'm giving you a moment to react here if you do anything. And I'm giving you a
gonna
moment to
stand
react
by
here if
my
you do
immediate
anything.
reaction of, excuse me, mate, what the fuck? I'm gonna stand by my immediate
And
reaction of,
this
excuse
old
me,
man,
mate,
this
what
guy,
the fuck?
just as a description,
Can I cast?
and this
no,
old
you are
man,
completely
this guy
immobile.
just as a description,
Can I cast?
you are held in
No, you are
place.
completely
You cannot move or
immobile.
speak. You are
and as he
held
aims
in
this
place.
gun
You
up,
cannot
this guy,
move
and
or
just
speak.
giving you the description here, George.
This guy,
and as he aims this gun up, this guy,
looks
and
like
just giving
he's
you the description here,
probably
George.
This guy is
90
human.
pounds.
Looks
He
like
is
he's
probably
a thin, frail, old
90 pounds.
punched toothpick.
He is a
He
thin,
probably
frail,
looks about
old
90 as well.
punched toothpick.
Wearing thick
He probably
glasses.
looks about 90 as well.
as he brings out wearing this gun, thick, probably glasses, weighs nearly as much as he does. As he brings out and aims it at the door, probably weighs nearly as much as he does. After aiming the weapon, and aims it at the door. Immediately, one of his, aren't you? After aiming the weapon, you're not coming in this place. And then he kind of his, aren't you? One eye, you're not coming in still on Theodore. Kind of, and then he kind of Saladin goes, "One eye, who the hell are you? Are you with him?" Still on Theodore. Kind of glances at Saladin and goes, "Who the hell are you? Are you with him?"
Infinitely confused at your hostility. Quick question. What do you mean by I'm Saladin? Infinitely confused at your hostility. Quick question. What do you mean by one of his?
And yeah, and meanwhile, Zethian, you don't see this bit inside. You just see Theodore get to the door. The door goes white. Meanwhile, Zethian, you don't see this bit inside. You just see Theodore get to the door. The door goes white, and he freezes in place.
Shit.
The guy kind of still eyes never leaving Theodore. The guy end of the round, by the way. Eyes never Theodore give me another wisdom save. Which at the end of the round, by the way, Theodore give me another wisdom save. Yeah, now, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, now, yeah. Continue to be held in place.
Yeah, yeah.
Holy fuck.
Oh, shit.
You continue to be held in place. You're looking for a DC 19. I'll go ahead and tell you that. You're looking for a DC 19. I'll go ahead and tell you that. Yeah, he kind of keeping one eye on the door and keeping the gun aimed. Yeah, he goes keeping one eye on the door and keeping the gun one of the aimed. He goes, if you're going to say it, one of his, one of his, one of the fall into that trap before. I'm not going to say it. If you're going to say it, you know who I'm talking about. The runes went off, so you've got to be one of his. That means you know who he is. You know who I'm talking about. The runes went off, so you've got to be one of his. That means you know who he is. The runes only go off when it's one of his.
I wish I could say that we did.
The runes only go off when it's one of his.
I wish I could say that big doors. He's a friend. Should I be aiming a gun at him? Big doors. He's a friend. Should I be aiming a gun at him? I don't.
He's got to be.
He's
here to kill me. There's no way. There's no way one of his would come here if they're not here to kill me. He's got to be. He's here to kill me. There's no way. Tell me if he's here to kill me. No way one of his would come here if they're not here to kill me. Yeah, because he's here to kill me. Just tell me if he's here to kill me. If he's here, I'm in danger. Because he's here to kill me.
I'm more likely to kill you.
Yes. If he's here, I'm in danger. He's here to kill me.
I'm more likely to kill you.
Are you here to kill me? Are you here to kill me?
I walk through the door at this point, with the commotion going on, and just be like, can we?
Theodore's blocking the door.
Through the door for a second,
you kind of get to the door and you can look around. Theodore's blocking the door. Can't get past him in the door. You kind of get to the door and you can look around Theodore and see in, but you can't get past him in the door. But you can look frozen. You can look in to see the guy. You can look inside. You can look in to see the guy. You can look inside to see the octogenarian aiming a gun at him, yes.
Oh, I'm trying to think, can I, shout through to try and de-escalate the situation? Can I,
what do you say?
Shout through to try and de-escalate the situation? Can we chill out for a second?
What do you say?
No flying clue what's going on. Just be like,
this guy's here to kill me!
Chill out for a second, I have no flying clue what's going on.
You're not with him, are you?
What makes you think that?
This guy's here to kill me! The runes went off. The runes only go off whenever you're not with him, one of them is here to kill me. The runes went off. The runes only go off whenever one of them is here to kill me.
I can assure you this guy has very innocent intentions. I don't really know what one of them is, but I can assure you
they always say that. They always say it's good intentions. Always. Every time. They always say that. Every time he tried to kill me, he said he had good intentions. Every time. Every time he tried to kill me, he said he had good intentions.
Browse and buy your wares.
If he makes any attacking
you're in a shop, dude. We just want to browse and buy your wares.
Myself. Don't worry. If he makes any attacking action towards you, I'll kill him myself. Don't worry. I'll keep big doors.
He kind of glances over at you and is like, give me a persuasion roll.
I don't know why he would be killing you.
He kind of glances over at you and is like, give me a persuasion roll.
I don't know why he would be killing you. You've noticed me shouting around the door.
I'm going to say, do you think he can shoot his gun out of his hand?
You've noticed me shouting around the door. Not really.
I'm going to say, do you think he can shoot his gun out of his hand? I know, there's got to be
not really.
a gap
Theodore's
that you
in the
can sort
way.
of look through with it.
He kind of looks over at you, Saladin, for just a second, and then he kind of realizes that he's taken his eyes off the door and immediately snaps back to Theodore. Just a second. You could tell he kind of realizes that he's taken his eyes off the door and immediately snaps back to Theodore. You could tell this guy is definitely. You want to buy something? Are you not? Are you with him? You want to buy something? You're not? Are you with him?
Big Doors is a friend, but we can put him on a fucking train outside if it makes you feel better. Big Doors is a friend.
Take him outside.
But we can put
he
him
can't
on a
come
fucking
in.
train outside if it makes you feel better. Okay,
Take him
I'm just gonna
outside.
Pick up
He
Big
can't come in.
Doors and just place him outside the door frame.
Okay, give me a strength check.
Place him outside
Or
the door
you
frame.
can make it athletics. Give me a strength check.
Athletics,
You can make it athletics.
Yeah,
Make it athletics.
Lovely. That's very nice. I feel like you've given me that.
Yeah.
And I'm happy about it.
Well, if you're trying to lift and
It's
carry
not
something,
great, but it's
that
always gonna
is
give me
athletics
that.
normally.
And I'm
You
happy
managed
about
to
it.
pick him up. If you're trying to lift
get
and
him
carry
outside the
something,
door,
that
as
is
soon as he's
athletics.
outside the door frame,
You managed to pick him up.
the runes
and
cut off
the door.
and
Theodore,
as
you
soon
can
as
move
he's
again.
outside the door frame, the runes cut off and
Theodore, you can move again.
Hands up in the air. You know,
So,
in
quick thing.
constant
Man
hands
doesn't
up
like
the
you
air.
in there. He agreed to let us buy things, but we have to like. Man doesn't like you in there. He agreed to let us buy things, but we have to like leave you outside or maybe chain you to this wall.
I could hear everything, couldn't speak a thing.
List of what you want to know.
What the fuck he
Because
knows
we're very
about
confused.
I mean, you could just shout through
Right,
the
our
door.
list of what you want to know.
He is still
We're
aiming the
confused.
he is still aiming the
You
gun
could just
out
shout
the
through
door.
the door.
He is still aiming he is still aiming the gun out the
Just a sec,
door.
guys.
All right.
What?
I'll be back in just a sec,
Let's
guys.
just take a quick break
All right.
as well, if that's okay with everyone.
Yeah,
Well,
no problem.
well,
Yeah, if people need 5,
I
that's
guess
no
Let's take a
problem at
quick
all.
break
Coles
as
and I
well, if
can
that's
walk.
okay with everyone.
Yeah, no problem.
Well,
Yeah,
Yes,
if people
goals
need
and I can
5,
go back.
that's
Yes,
no problem.
goals
Yeah,
and
you
I
two
can
can head
walk.
inside while they
I've
wait
finished
outside.
making my pretty doodle. Yes, goals and I can go back into the shop now.
Yeah, you two can head inside while they
I've
wait
finished
outside.
making my pretty doodle.
All right.
Yeah, I finished making my little doodle.
All right.
Not that he's seen me yet, but that is.
Nope. So, do you two head back
Not that he's
inside?
seen me yet, but that is.
Nope. So, do you two head back
After
inside?
patting Big Doors on the head, stay.
Yeah, I'm just
Please
gonna.
don't get us killed.
Yeah, and I'm,
I mean,
I'm
after
gonna just
patting
cut straight
Big
to
Doors
it
on
and
the head,
ask him if he
stay.
knows where I can get
Please don't
any.
get us killed.
Just cut straight to it and ask him if he knows where I can get any.
So you two head back in, and the
brimstone
door
under the
swings
counter.
closed. Once you two head back
Theodore's
in, and
out
the
of
door
sight
swings
and
out of the room. You notice that he kind of lays the gun on the counter,
out of
but
sight,
keeps it out of the room.
at the
You
door,
notice that he kind of
just in case,
lays the gun on the counter, and he kind of stops it and he goes, and he kind of looks over at you and he goes, kind of just in case, knowing he's out there. You want to kind of stop by brimstone. He kind of looks over at you and he goes, I can get brimstone. Brimstone's not up. You want to buy brimstone? Brimstone's easy to get. I mean, I can. What do you need brimstone? Get brimstone. Brimstone's not a problem. Brimstone's easy to get. What do you need brimstone for?
I'm a fighter. I like a little bit of flair when it comes down to swinging that weapon. I think it's going to give me a little bit of an edge when it comes down to swinging that weapon. I think it's going to give me a nice little bit of an edge in the arena.
But that Kim stuff that they're all using, that's not brimstone. No, there's no brimstone in that stuff. No, that Kim stuff that they're all using, lots of other magical things. There's no brimstone in that stuff. No.
We don't use the chem stuff.
Lots of other
don't-
magical
we
things,
don't-
not
we don't use
brimstone.
the chem stuff. Yeah, we're
Then why are you wanting
traditionalists,
brimstone?
just like
Brimstone's
we
not
used to go
natural.
down.
I'm a natural lad, don't worry.
Yeah, we're
Then why are you wanting brimstone? Brimstone's not natural.
I
Not
don't
really.
want to pump
It's
myself up with drugs. I'll augment
It's
my
more
weapons,
natural
I
than
won't
that chem
augment my
stuff.
body.
not
I don't
really.
wanna pump
It's
myself up with
brimstone
drugs.
weapon
I'll make
enchantment.
it
I'll
I
augment my
see.
weapons, I won't augment
You want a demonic weapon? Oh, brimstone weapon enchantment. I see. I mean, you want a demonic weapon. Voices and personalities, and almost as bad as that lot out there. You don't want to get involved. They tend to develop voices and personalities, and almost as bad as that lot out
Can
there.
also make
You don't want to get involved in.
Fantastic bang when you need them to.
It's
No.
Oh
entry
yes,
level.
yes. Brimstone explosives.
Fantastic
Yes, brimstone
bang
explosives.
when you need them
Those
to.
are quite good. Quite.
It's
Oh
entry
yes,
level, you know.
Brimstone
I used to
explosives.
make
Yes,
some
brimstone
We
explosives.
like the boom.
Those are quite good. Quite.
Oh,
yes,
yes,
I
fire.
used to make some brimstone. Brimstone
We
is
like the
good for
boom.
fire. Yes, hellfire. Oh yes,
Lots of
I
fire.
the brimstone is the demon fire. Yes, demon guns, hellfire. Like and he actually holds up his demon guns like this. Yes, demon guns. Very powerful. And he actually holds up his gun like this. Yes, demon guns. Very powerful explosives. Those. Yes.
Could you imagine that? Big. So as he mentions demon guns, I'm going to say, could you imagine a big demon gun?
Yes, of course I could. Why would you think I could?
Demon gun?
Yes, of course I could. Why would you think I could? Well, I mean, the largest ones I've ever been involved in are the ones on the city walls at the moment. The largest ones I've ever been involved in are the ones on the city walls at the moment. When those were upgraded, I mean, those are when those 12-foot cannons were upgraded. I mean, those are what 12-foot cannon.
Huge area underground, but also something that could leave portable. Huge area underground, but also be portable.
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. That would take incredible magics
nothing like that.
Nothing like that. That miniaturize the explosion and incredible magics. Enlarge it at the moment of miniaturize the explosion and then enactment. Enlarge it would be far too complex. Not cost efficient at all. Not cost efficient. No, enactment cost far too complex. Not cost efficient at all. Not cost efficient. No. Cost far too much.
Wouldn't Alchemist?
Well, of course I could. I just did. I just conceived it for you, but it's not cost effective. Well, of course I could. I just did. I just conceived it for you.
How would you go about making it if money wasn't an object?
The cost would be astronomical.
How would you go about making it?
I've just told you. You would need to create a much larger explosive. I've just told you. You would brimstone. You would need to create a much larger explosive using brimstone. It's complicated. Alchemist fire using 4 or 5 other magical chemical compounds. Using 4 or 5 other the larger explosives, magical then need to enchant it with miniaturization spells. And then after creating the larger explosive, you would then need to enchant it with portable miniaturization spells. The enchantments would have to be layered in make it minuscule, make it portable. And the enchantments would have to be layered in at the moment that the device was activated, and intricate way, so that enlarged the components moment back to their original size. Activated it in the moment before detonation back to their original size. Just in the moment before detonation.
You believe would be needed? What to create these caliber of scholar do you believe?
Well, you would need a magical genius, someone with years and years of experience and study, both in magical genius, the mystic arts, the alchemical arts, years and years of experience and study, both in the art of the mystic arts, the alchemical arts, and probably the art of weaponcraft. There's probably.
Is anybody in this still that? Do you believe anybody has that ability and sort of talent build that city? Do you believe anybody would have that?
There's probably 2 or 3 people in the city that I mean, I'm sure there are a couple of my students in the city that probably could do it. I'm sure that a couple of my students probably could do it. I'm sure a couple of them could. Yes, why? Not as easily as I could, but I'm sure a couple of them could. Yes, why?
We're sort of like beginners into the idea of demon weapons. Really, we're just and we thought that you would like beginners into the idea of demon weapons, the alchemical genius, and you would be the man to seek, as you are the alchemical genius. And
I can do it. You see. Well, I don't do it. Bad experiences with extraplanar forces and all that. Bad experience out there. Extraplanar forces and all I don't deal with anything extraplanar anymore. I don't deal with anything just extraplanar not a good anymore. Time. You really should not be associated with that guy. You know, just not a good time. You really should not be associated with that guy. You know. Yes, the quirk of they're all trying to kill me. Yes, quirks. The cult. Their quirk. They're all trying to kill me. Yes. The cult,
it's never a good. And do you ensure that your students then wouldn't be dabbling with this stuff?
Well, I warn them all about it. I make it very clear how dangerous it all is. I warned them all. Probably some of them still. I make it very clear how dangerous it all is. Well, once they've gone their own way, that's stupid enough to try it. But they don't do it under my own tutelage. Once they've gone their own way, that's on their head. They don't do it under my own tutelage.
Careful and cautious to be doing anything too frivolous. No, you're far too careful and cautious to be doing anything too frivolous and reckless like that.
He just kind of stares at you nervously, like he's waiting for you to say something else.
So, how much is some brimstone?
Oh yeah, back onto the subject of brimstone. How much would be some brimstone to not have it too recorded whilst we experiment with weapons? How much would be some brimstone to not have it too recorded whilst we experiment with weapons?
How much are you looking for? I mean, an ounce, a pound. How much are you looking for?
A ton?
I mean, an ounce. I need some kind of scale here. What kind of scale? A pound? What is it you're asking?
A ton?
I need some kind of scale here. What kind of scale? What is it you're asking?
Probably £2. Probably £2.
2 pounds. 2 pounds of brimstone. I mean, that's easy enough to come by. It's 2 pounds. 2 pounds of brimstone. I could have that ready in a couple of days. That's easy enough to come by. You're looking at have that ready in a couple of days. Well, I don't know. 300 platinum? I mean, you're looking at, I don't know, 300 platinum?
300 platinum. I'm just gonna sort of like let out a big ooh. I'm just gonna sort of like let out a big.
You said you don't want it recorded, don't you?
That's a good price.
That's
very true.
You said you don't want it recorded, don't you? You want to buy it, over the counter, so to say, then that's a bit different. I mean, if you want to buy it, over the counter, so to say, then that's a third the price. I mean, you could get it for a third the price.
Would you be interested in any form of trade? Need us to do anything for you? Would you be interested in any form of trade? Need us to do anything for you?
Need us to find out this cult and put them to an end. Need us to find out this cult and put them to an end.
Is this a trap? You're traveling with one of them. Is this a trap? Is this a trap? You're traveling with one of them. Is this
We're not remotely smart enough to try and do a trap.
Roll me persuasion.
No trap at all. No,
We're not remotely smart enough to try and do a trap.
Or deception. If this is in fact a trap, you can also roll deception. Or deception. If this is in fact a trap, you can also roll deception.
No,
I've got a -1 to intelligence. I'm telling the truth. I'm not remotely smart enough. I've got a -1 to intelligence. I'm telling the truth. I'm not remotely smart enough to start a trap.
I'm persuading that we really aren't trying to trap him, I guess.
Well, he's rolled a very good insight, so I'm waiting to see
that we really aren't trying to trap him, I guess.
Well, he's rolled a very good insight, so I'm waiting to see. And are you, in fact, trying to trick him? And are you, in fact, trying to trick him?
No, we're being very sincere at the moment.
Is this a trap?
No, we're being very sincere at the moment.
So it's not a trap. I believe it's not a trap. Yeah, I believe you when you say that. So it's not a trap. I believe it's not a trap. Yeah, I believe you when you say that. If you're not trying to trap me, but you're traveling with one of them. So, and they're trying to kill me. If you're not trying to trap me, that means he must be deceiving traveling with one of them. Do you know that you're being deceived by him? They're trying to kill me. That means he must be deceiving you. Do you know that you're being deceived by him?
No,
evidently not.
No, he's just a friend. No,
evidently not.
Journey at the moment. He's just a friend.
No, clearly, he's deceived you. It's the only logical option. Clearly, he's deceived you. Shouldn't trust him. Don't trust the only logical option.
Can I hear that conversation?
The door is closed with you outside now, so at the moment, no, you can't. The door is closed. I'll tell you outside now, so at the moment, no, you can't. If you decided that you're like pressing yourself up against the door to listen, I'll give you a perception check with disadvantage to see if pressing yourself up against the door to listen. I'll give you a perception check with disadvantage to see if you can hear it.
I'm going to see how much this guy knows, and I'm going to ask him if he knows about. I'm going to see how much this guy knows, and I'm going to ask him if he knows about Throne of Bones.
Roll me insight when you say
I'll
that.
just be ready to throw my body in front of Talek in case he tries to fucking shoot.
Roll me insight when
Theodore,
you say
you
that.
do not hear him with that
roll.
roll.
In front of Talek in case he tries to fucking shoot him.
Theodore, you do not hear him with that roll.
I rolled a
no.
20.
Okay, with a 20 insight roll,
Oh,
you
the
say
20.
Throne of Bone. And okay, with a 20
you
see
with a 20
him take
insight
2
roll,
steps
you
back
say
Throne of Bone
and lift the gun back off the counter.
You see him take
a
2
moment
steps back
of wild
and lift the gun
panic
back off the counter.
in his eyes.
You see a moment of wild panic
I'm just going to tell him
in
what
his
we know.
eyes.
I'm not going to tell him that I know it from Theodore. I'm just going to say that I'm just going to tell him what we know. I'm not going to tell him that I know it from Theodore. Investigate some cultist I'm just going to say that we've been, and one of them had something to do with to investigate some cultist murders, and one of them had something to do with, and we can't figure out what it means. A road that ends with a throne of bones, and we can't figure out what it means.
The cult is back.
To understand.
That's the cult's doing. The cult is back. That's the cult's doing.
The question: what is the cult?
You can see he kind of stops a minute and he's almost deep breathing to avoid hyperventilating. You can see he kind of stops a minute and he's almost deep breathing to avoid hyperventilating.
Can I interest him in some ale from my flask? Be like, have a chill pill. Can I interest him in some
he kind of looks at the flask.
Have a chill pill.
In this moment of disgust. He kind of looks at the flask.
No, of course I don't want that.
In this
and then you see
moment
he kind
of
of reaches
disgust
behind the bar and picks up.
No,
of course I don't want that.
And then you see he kind of reaches behind the bar and immediately inhales it through his nose. A container with some kind of a powdery substance in it and immediately inhales it through his nose. He's like, alcohol? No, that's not going to cover that.
That's why he's got snow globe.
Alcohol? No, that's not going to cover that.
So yeah, that's why we just say that's all we know is snow globe road with an end and a throne of bones. So yeah, we just say that's all we know.
The cult is moving again.
The road with an end and a throne
I
of bones.
thought they were done for again. He promised me that they were done for. I thought that he was finished with them, but he's not. He's back. He promised me that they were done. He promised me that he was finished with them, but he's not. He's back, and he's going to kill me.
Who is he?
If I say his name, he'll know.
3 murders already. Who is he?
If I say his name, he'll know. There have been 5 murders.
Yeah,
yes,
5. Hasn't there been 5 murders?
Yeah.
There have been 5 murders.
Yeah,
Yes.
5.
If I say his name, he'll know I said it. I'm not going to say his name. If I say his name, he'll know I said it.
Can you write it?
I'm not going to say his name.
Can you write it out?
Can you write it? Yes.
He says, I'll.
Is Casey dropping out for anyone else?
He says, can you guys hear me? Okay.
Briefly, but he's back.
Is Casey dropping out for anyone else?
Are you hearing me all right?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Briefly,
Okay, cool. He kind of takes it. You hear me all right?
Yes.
He kind of takes a couple deep breaths again, and he says, "I'll." He kind of takes it. I'll write. He kind of takes a couple deep breaths again. That's all. He says, "I'll." But I'll write part of it. He was done with it. He promised me that there'd be no more cult. He promised me that he was done. He said he was reformed. That there'd be no more. I never trusted it. I never believed him. I never trusted it. He said he was reformed. I knew he was going to try. I knew he would try to kill me again. I never believed him. I never trusted it. I knew he would stop. I knew he would try to kill me again. He pulls out a sheet of parchment, and he starts to write. And he kind of stops, and he pulls out a sheet of parchment, and he starts to write. H starts with a T. U H R U N
Right, Theodore, then.
R O N.
Right, Theodore, then.
And then he stops and he slides the page to O. And then he stops and he slides the page to you.
And you believe you could be one of his targets from this cult? And you believe you could be one of his targets?
He nearly killed me the last time. I mean, he nearly killed me the last time.
permanently going to be waiting there all day, and they'll be like, well, fuck, they're dead.
Okay, much annoyance. I think I'm back now.
You are back.
Hi, back.
Okay.
I'm back. I'm dead.
Fuck's sake.
Okay, so upon leaving the Alchemist, what are you guys up to?
Well, we're going to walk towards...
So the
We're
Kraken?
still going to the Kraken.
No, I feel like we need to go to the hall now and speak to Lady Sav Lady.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, do you fill me in on the way, or do we want to do it somewhere like more private? Because I think we're discussing
We're gonna do it in
type stuff.
We're gonna do it in the hall, I think, because
Oh no, why don't we step inside your box?
the problem is that
get
leaves a
inside the
great big
box.
hole that people can also step into.
But
or
you
close
can
us
fill
in.
them in inside the box, and I can guard the outside of the box, and then open it for you in like
True.
10 minutes time.
True, yeah, we
That's
could go down the
slightly more-
nearest alley of where we are.
It seems overly complex for the sake of complex.
Open up the box, hop down. We could also leave the grenade in the box as well, so then it's like out of reach of everybody.
Oh no, I want to fuck with the grenade. I have a sneaking suspicion it is the miniaturized explosive that he warned us about.
Yeah, that's
I
why
wanna fuck with it.
That's why I was suggesting we leave it in the box, because I know you really want to fuck with it.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I'm
put it in the
going
box
to.
on the shelf and leave it alone.
Because at the same time, if it is the miniaturized explosives, we need to have someone cast Detect Magic on it. And if
I
it
mean,
has any of the spells that are, like, I did write down every single step
Yeah.
of what would need to be done.
The problem is, as well, though, is if we then discuss all of these things in the hall and we have to be truthful, we're going to have to tell Lady Big Boss that we have the miniaturized explosive, possibly, and she's going to take it off of us.
Exactly.
But if we say
I'm
it's not
afraid
in our,
that-
if we say it's not in our possession because it's in my cube, and technically it's not in our possession because we're not possessing it, the cube is, then we're not
Yeah, my
lying to
deception
her.
rolls are fucking dreadful.
True. I mean, so are mine, but
We need plausible deniability. Technically speaking, if one person was off with it, it's not in your possession because it's not there. You know who has it, but you don't know where they are.
true.
Which is, again, a lot of hoops to jump through.
But that's even if we just talk about the miniaturized explosive to her and we just discuss what we know about the cult of Redacted and how it happened like 40 years ago. And they almost lost Olinda, but people managed to survive it and stop it. And give her the name of old boy from Grenade Shop.
Thanos.
Thanos, yeah.
Basically Thanos, yeah.
Yeah.
Is the fact that you gave us so many of the letters and I'm like, oh, I have this in my notes on the grenade. Pull it out of the backpack, fucking panic attack mode.
As soon as he read TH, I was like, it's fucking Theodore. We've got like the cult leader wandering around with us. This motherfucker. And then it continued with letters. But no, I think we go to the hall, discuss what Alchemist told us in footnotes. We're not going to tell her about the explosives and his gun and everything else. That it's Cult of Redacted, that these runes belong to him 40 or 50 years ago, we're assuming, because that's how young this guy looked compared. Could have been a bit longer than that, though, as that was post-stopping it. There was a cult that was running rampant and tried to summon something through the Eternal Nothing, using that as a ritual circle. And she may know some history on that, I'm assuming, being she looks old as fuck, unless it's just like stress has aged her and she's only really like 20 years old.
Yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't look that old. She doesn't look that old. Just for context, I would have said to you that she looks. You would have probably guessed a hard-aged late 40s, early 50s max.
So she would have been 10 at most when this all happened with the Eternal Nothing as a ritual circle. Okay, well, I won't quite use old as fuck with her then. I'll just say she looks older than us.
I have defo aged and seen some shit in my notes from session 2.
Sun damaged.
Black hair, ponytail, lives for functionality, zero fucking around, aged, and has definitely seen some shit.
Yeah. And I'll say to her about that. She probably knows about that, being like she's like in the middle of where they keep all records of everything that's happened anyway.
Okay.
and then maybe she can use that information, like the past stuff, to sort of know more. We can give her that the name tied to it is Thanos. I know it's not Thanos, but he's now Thanos to me. So
I can't talk. I still call you Tay Tay in Big Doors.
Exactly, and we can see if we can get a pay rise from her from that information.
Okay, you head to the hole.
Should we not see if the mini explosive is actually mini explosive?
We can see if it's a mini explosive when we're out of the town and we don't have the risk of bringing down any buildings, I think.
It didn't bring down any buildings when it was used to murder people. If it was used to murder people, that is.
Guys, quick question before we go. How far are we going to tell her around me hearing voices and stuff
Well,
like
we
that?
don't need to do that anymore because the simulacrum told us the same things you've told us about, like the road and the end and the throne of bones. So now we know that from the Alchemist and not from you. So you're perfectly safe. How safe we are with you, we have no idea anymore.
Yeah. How safe I am there. In that hole,
yeah, you're perfectly safe. So
yeah, I don't think you should.
We just murder him. We got told not to trust him. Just murder him.
No, he's a homie at the moment. He's not done anything really to like cause us distrust.
Yeah, poor guy walked into a shop, got frozen, and then fucking lifted out by force.
Unfrozen whilst he's being carried like a baby by Coles out of the shop.
First it was Mo, now it's you. Round 2, baby.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Theodore screaming, "Not a tunnel, not a tunnel."
Meanwhile, he's just shouting, "Choo choo!"
Yeah. Oh no!
You got the tail to deal with and everything else there.
And tell her.
Did you like whisper "choo choo" to him as you were like carrying him out of the house?
No.
No comment. No comment.
The shock of fear of it has caused him to become a white dragon.
It wasn't actually the rune prison. It was just it was just scaring the shit out of him.
Right, so let's head to the hall.
You make your way to the hall
Theodore
without
becomes
incident.
A victim.
Yep. You get to the hall without any incidents.
Yes.
You really want to keep an eye on your cube.
And then we're just going to walk in and see if old lady is here.
Lady, old lady.
Do you ask them for lady, old lady? Is that who you ask
get
for?
To the front desk.
No.
Oh, dear God, please no.
I just ask if lady. I can never remember her name.
Seraphina.
Seraphina.
That's the one.
Okay. They do let you know that she is available today.
Direction of the law.
We let them know that we have some urgent information for her case that she tasked us.
They let you know that she is in today. They'll pass the message along. They ask you to basically have a seat and wait. 35 minutes later, someone wearing very similar robes to Lady Seraphina, but not nearly as intricate or well made, approaches you, asks for the four of you by name, basically to identify who you are.
turns up.
Okay. Am I back?
For now.
Oh, George, I thought you weren't going to say anything.
You know, he's had this many troubles. I thought it'd be rude. Also because I'm probably going to cause him more headaches down the line.
Both are true. So you...
The alcohol headaches.
Well, I'm having those on my own. You wait for probably 35 minutes until someone dressed very much like Seraphina, but in a lot less finery, approaches you, asks for the four of you by name to confirm who you are. I assume you confirm that you are who they're looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once you've...
why not? We could say something stupid, but...
Once you've confirmed that, leads you out of the anteroom and into another room off to the side, a meeting room. Many apologies. I'm one of Lady Seraphina's aides. She is currently indisposed with another matter, but has asked me to come down and check in with you. You said that you had additional information about the case.
I don't suppose someone else got murdered, did they? And that's why she's indisposed.
Well, she's been sent to another scene to confirm if it was the same, but we believe so. Yes.
Is it an alchemy shop?
No. Why would it be an alchemy shop?
Fuck for that, because if Edgar died, I feel like that'd be really bad karma.
Edgar? Edgar who?
Yeah, we'll get there in time. I just wanted to make sure our lad wasn't dead.
Okay.
You've just given away the name of our confidential informant. God damn it.
Yeah, fuck it. We're not allowed to lie in here.
Yeah, but you didn't have to give the details.
They were going to ask where we got the information from eventually, and there could be a million Edgars.
Yeah, but
not all of them would own an alchemy shop.
We don't. You could have said it was best we don't divulge this information at this time.
So
Nah,
you have...
It'll be fine. You remember?
So
what I
you
said
have
about headaches
information
5 minutes ago.
So you have information from someone named Edgar who owns an alchemy shop about the case. Richard,
Yes.
You muted.
Including some very interesting ways to get the murders that we've been seeing.
Get them?
Richard, you're on mute. Do you want to bail me out here?
Why am I on mute? When did I get muted?
No idea.
Who knows?
But no, so we've got some information, nothing too major, just the destruction of Olindar. So, the usual.
I'm sorry?
And it ties into something that happened. Yeah, we'll get around to that point. It's going to be very relevant for this next part.
Pour yourself some tea. It's going to be a long story.
Ties into something that would have happened with some cultists. I'm saying around 40 or 50 years ago, with trying to use the Eternal Nothing as a summoning circle to bring forth a beast.
This guy looks at you very confused.
But apparently it's the same cult. It's come back. It's the cult of... I'm not too sure what the cult is called, because our informant could only give us the cult of, and then there was some sort of spell that prevented any divulgence of the cult's name. So all I can really call it is the cult of Schmergle Durgle at the moment. And we have a potential suspect in Thanos. And I know it's Thanos or... It was either Thanos or Thermos he was going to get called, so... Because of the end of the world, he won with Thanos. But Thanos is a potential suspect in this from our informant.
I'm sorry. Do you have a surname on this individual?
He runs a junk shop.
Upton?
I can't actually remember his last name. Furnos.
Oh,
I'll check the notes.
Casey, I have them, but I have them from your message, so I'm not sure if the character actually has it. So
He did tell you in the shop.
No, I have the card, don't I? Because Penny. Yeah, and Penny gave me the card anyway to take the junk too, so he would have told me.
Upton.
I just have no IRL brain to remember the surname, so
Upton.
I can just show the card, I guess. So I would have had his junk shop on it. So yeah, give him that information.
You do you take the card out to show him?
Yeah, I just say this chap.
As you take the card out of your pocket, it's blank.
Mother. But yes, so I'll just say his name. Thermos Crampton. Of house.
I'm assuming you give the actual name.
Insulated flasks. Yeah, I give the actual name. We go through it and we say this is a potential suspect from what we made out of the simulacrum of our informant, because he was too terrified to say it himself, is this guy had promised he was done with this cult work after the failed attempt using the Eternal Nothing as a summoning circle to bring around the end of Olindar.
And the entire city as well.
And yeah, by using Titan as a summoning circle itself. And he promised he was done with it, but with the return of these runes, I show him the piece of paper I've got with the runes on it and wave it at him. With the return of these runes, it ties into the whole cultists from 50 years ago that tried to bring about the end of the world again. And it looks like they're back at it.
This younger guy
This is
looks...
why I was asking for your boss.
Yes, of course. Please bear with me just a few moments. Give me 5 minutes, honestly. Please have a seat. I'll be right back. And he steps out of the room.
His pants.
He steps out of the room. 5 minutes later, he comes back in, and with him is not Lady Seraphina. She is still elsewhere, but is a much older-looking elven gentleman, also wearing the robes of the clerics of Celor. He steps inside and he says, Good afternoon. My apprentice says that you've given him some very interesting information of some historical events. He has passed the information on to me, and I'm quite curious to speak with you further. There was mention of...
So you are aware of the summoning circle?
Well, I'm not aware of a summoning at the Eternal Nothing per se, but I am familiar with events that happened approximately 39 years ago in regards to a cultist outbreak within the city that resulted in a grand conflict between the paladins and guards forces and a force of militant cultists. I cross-referenced
what?
Yes, I cross-referenced the information to this Thurnos Upton that you mentioned, and he was in fact involved in that. He was reported missing shortly after these events and has not been heard from since. We also cross-referenced the address you mentioned, and per city records, that's a blank lot. There's no shop located there at this time.
Curious. There was definitely a junk shop. And it was definitely Furnos that we had spoken to in there. We'd even bought 2 smoke grenades from him.
According to the history, Thurnos was one of a group of adventurers who saved the city on more than one occasion and fought against a cult uprising, but was then later discovered to have been turned or besieged by these cultists to turn on his allies. He led the uprising.
That does make sense.
And nearly killed his companions before disappearing.
Although he did kill some of his companions, correct? 3 of them.
Yes, I believe he did. Perhaps you might be best speaking to one of the surviving members of his group. I understand that I believe 2 of them still reside within the city.
Got some names and addresses for us?
Yeah, ASL, the usual.
Yeah, so fuck off. Fuck off.
Someone spent
God
too much
damn
time
it.
on a
Their AIM username, the usual sort of stuff.
Wow. Well, one of them was, and he goes through some notes that he had brought in a folder with him. He says one of them was an Edgar Gio, a
Quite renowned
tinkerer
alchemist,
and
I believe.
alchemist. Yes.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
The other that I believe may still be within the city was a dragonborn mercenary by the name of Alexander Ironheart.
I haven't heard of this chap.
Would any of us recognise the name?
You can roll me history if you'd like. Each of you would have a different
With
DC.
my -1, this is going to go well.
Taylor getting good rolls today.
And no, I've had equally awful rolls as well. It's just, as long as it's not a perception roll, I'm good. But perception's my +5, so that should be my good one.
Yeah. Bizarrely, though, that with the adjusted DCs, the one of you who actually knows this answer is possibly Zethian. You think, and this is only coming to mind because of who else you've been thinking about recently, you're almost sure that there are some of these stories that are told in the Conclave that Allura spent a lot of time with someone by that name.
Does that mean his cloak would have known and reacted to the name?
The cloak's been keeping fairly quiet. Zethian, you kind of glance over, and the cloak is asleep on your shoulder.
Can I, give it a pat and tell him the name?
You kind of wake him up, and he kind of gives a growl. The two clerics in the room kind of jump in surprise as your cloak wakes up. Brimstone's sleeping. What?
Do you remember any encounters with this Ironheart guy?
Do you just say this Ironheart guy, or what do you actually say to him?
It's just because my IRL brain has forgotten what his first name was already.
Alexander Ironheart.
So Alexander Ironheart.
Dragonborn.
Big Alex.
Big Al. Big Al's Toy Barn.
Yes, Brimstone liked Iron Dragon Man. Him fight good with Master.
Who did you fight?
Many evil things. Goblin.
That's about the answer I expected.
Peoples.
Do you know where he lives?
Metal City.
That ties in then.
And the clerics are kind of looking at you like, are you asking your cloak for information?
We sort of just
That's so weird.
We just say the cloak's called Brimstone. He doesn't like to not be referred to as the cloak.
He has a name.
I see.
He's a useful companion.
Fascinating.
He has some cool tricks if you'd like a demonstration.
No, I think that will be fine. We do have a last known address.
Are you sure? It doesn't mean fireworks display.
We do have a last known address for Alexander.
That would be greatly appreciated.
And they'll write down the address for you. Is there any additional information that you were seeking or seeking to provide?
No, not currently. Would you be able to ask the lady when she's back, your boss?
The
lady. If she can summon us, give us a summons for when she's back, so I can liaise with her too, just to
Of course.
share information, given she's already at another murder too.
I will pass the information along,
guys,
of course.
From what I've heard, and I'm not sure if you told the character that, but they did mention the unknowable one. Should we think, do we know anything about it? Maybe ask the guards about the unknowable
Oh, we
one?
haven't spoken to them about that. I want to speak to Lady Sepharina in regards to that, and I want to for that and the weapon. I kind of want to speak to her about, and not her lackeys.
Well, Casey, can I do, I guess, a history check or something to see, do I know anything about the unknowable one?
Yeah, go for it.
Or any of us know it? History it is?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Nothing comes to mind.
I think so.
Actually, though,
So now I think
roll me a wisdom check. Just a d20 plus your wisdom modifier.
12.
Okay. Something does come to your mind whenever you start thinking about it, though.
Okay. But I'm not sure what, basically.
Oh, no. I was just thinking of the best way to phrase it for you.
Okay.
After last session, whenever I said to people to check their character sheets, did you do so?
Yes.
Did you notice any changes?
There were a lot of the new spells added.
Mm-hmm.
And then that whole thing with the dash by far plane thing.
Just have a look over your new
Something
spells.
else?
I'm just going to say that. One of them comes to mind as you start thinking about questions that you have currently.
Okay, I think I see where you're going. It's the place of dead root spell.
Yes.
And I could potentially try to ask someone, even though I'm not sure who it is. I mean,
Potentially,
to me,
yes.
as the one I don't know who it is an unknowable one. Okay.
Funny that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's almost why it kind of links together in your head.
Gotcha. Okay.
But no, I think that's enough excitement for the day. So I think we'd head back to the keg because we'd have completely forgotten about going to the Kraken at this point after the whole end of the world, abducted in a shop, led out of a shop.
Depends on the time. Like, you know, what time of day is it?
You're kind of mid to late afternoon by this point. You've done a lot of traveling through the city and a lot of kind of wandering back and forth to get there and back.
Go on, we could go to the Kraken. Everyone would be sufficiently lubricated by then, you know? People should have been day drinking. We could probably find Snitchy and Dave.
Before we go any further, I'm going to need to take a 5-minute quick break.
No worries.
So I'll be right back.
Sure, likewise.
Adventurer Samus.
Sponsored by Sham, Shara's Emporium of Exotic Goods.
Still think you should wear it.
Raise the city to the ground. Everyone's a cultist.
All right.
That's what I'm leaning towards at the moment. Is like rally the paladins.
Just in time to hear us suggesting burn the city to the ground.
No, I've got a better plan though. We can rally the paladins and just have them come out and commit Titan genocide.
To the ground. Oh.
Okay.
Can we just build the world's biggest Molotov and throw it in the middle of the city?
I mean, we can just turn the demon weapons on the walls inward.
Fire at the nothing.
But no, I think I want to go and speak to Edgar in regards to the necklace I have.
You want to head back to Edgar's?
Yeah.
Where is Edgar's in relation to the Salt and Kraken?
Oh, that's a good point. I should probably mark it on the map, shouldn't I?
I'm assuming it's en route as we're planning on going there to the Kraken via there.
This would be where we find that it's at like the very bottom of the city or something.
Well, no, it's at the edge of the magic zone.
Oh, what, the Mystic Quarter?
The Mystic Quarter, yes. Give me just a second. Just getting the map to load now.
Because, I mean, like, in theory, we could hit a Salted Kraken and then swing by Edgar's on the way back, assuming he's not dead.
That's my
Tied
thought.
up and stuff at the Salt and Kraken, you'll be there a while.
That's my other thought, is if we went to the Kraken afterwards, then it'll be evening and they'll be even more drunk. And then we can all be at advantage when we're punching them in the face.
I do like physical violence.
And you can test out your new knuckles.
Now, I feel like I want to save the knuckles for the arena.
Yeah. Loosen up your swinging arms and use the hammer.
Which hammer?
Both of them. Dual wield.
Okay, the belly of the beast is now on the map. So it is north of the Broken Keg and east of the Halls of Governance.
Ah, yeah.
Is it on the way to the Broken Keg? I'm just, where are you dropping me off, I guess?
Well, you'd have to go past it to get back to the keg at this point. Basically, in going to the Alchemists on the way to the Kraken, you would have been going north and then turning west. And then after you've gone there, you've continued on to the Halls of Governance along to the west. So going back to the keg now would be kind of out of the way for that.
Yeah, I'm happy for us to go to him, and then I'll just to the Alchemist. I'll just sit outside, doze off, do some meditation.
You know, I'll keep our good friend Theodore company as well. You know.
I mean, I can. If you three want to wait outside, I can go in on my own and just drop down my cube and hop in there with him, show him the amulet, and then come back out. Worst case scenario, I close him in the cube and he lives for the next 10 minutes.
Unless he gets the strength roll to break out the cube.
True, and depends on how much cocaine.
As a 90-year-old man.
Yeah, but he's got that cocaine strength, so we've got to watch out.
Oh, he's got crackhead energy.
Yeah.
I mean, it lends well to, you know, we're keeping big doors away because he didn't want him back.
No, exactly.
Are there any taverns close by? I know that the Gilded Griffin is close to the Hall of Governance, but that's slightly further away from the belly of the beast than we'd probably want to be.
You've also got Redbeard's Hearth from Home. There are also probably some other less well-known taverns around that area, yes.
We could just vibe in a shitbox close by to the belly of the beast and wait for him to come back.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you my playing cards and you can all just have a game of cards whilst I'm in there.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, you head back that way.
I talk to Davroth as well and see if he knows anything about this old ritual that almost blew up Titan. But we can do that when we're at the keg where Davroth is. So yeah, let's head back to the belly of the beast.
Okay.
And talk to Big E.
You head back. By the time that you arrive back, the door is there. The shop is appearing to be open. Who's going inside?
I think just me. I'm going to give you guys my cards so you can have a game of cards whilst you're outside. Have a game of poker. And I'm just going to go in on my own.
Now, I will say to you before you go in, there is not enough clear space in his shop to open the cube in the shop.
Right, okay, so I'm going to do that before I go in then. I'll just open it, jump down. These guys are going to notice a big hole in the ground for the first time.
You guys watch as basically Talek puts down a box on the ground, presses a button, and then suddenly a 10-foot cubic hole opens in the ground.
Yeah, and I'm just going to hop down and say, "I'll be 2 seconds, guys," and just grab the amulet off the shelf.
He does that like thing, where like someone does that joke where they're walking downstairs behind the back of a sofa.
Yeah. And then I climb back up, close the cube, and I just say, I'll talk about that when we get back to the keg, and stick the cube and the amulet back in my pockets.
Man, I really need to stop playing Portal in the evenings.
And then there's no cake. Remember, the cake is a lie.
You've created some Portal gun cube hybrid.
Yeah. And then I'm going to walk into the belly of the beast.
Okay. You walk in.
Introduce myself to him.
He's
going to be like, "Oh fuck."
Edgar kind of looks up and kind of jumps a bit as he sees you. He goes, you're back again. Are you alone? Kind of eyeing the door.
Yes, it's just me. It's just me on my own.
Okay.
I've left them. I just say to him, "I've left them playing cards. I'm on my own. I need a bit of."
Has he betrayed you yet?
Hoping you're not yet. No. I'm hoping.
But you're ready for it. You're watching for it. He'll stab you in the back as soon as you turn it.
Oh, I make sure my back is never to him right now.
Good.
But I'm hoping
he'll stab you in the front as well.
History. Oh. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping your history will be able to help me with something.
History, yes. I have a lot of history. A lot of history.
And then
too much history. Too much time.
I just put out this amulet and say, "A traveling merchant gave me this amulet.
It's a mirror. It's very nice. Yes."
Do you know anything more of it? Do you want a closer look? I've made a curious substance.
I can take a look. Yes, I can take a look. And he kind of holds out his hand for the amulet. Do you let him hold it?
Over.
Okay. He takes it and he brings out he brings out kind of a monocle that's a magnifier and starts looking through it and examining it. Yes, I see. That's different. Yes. Oh, I see. Ah, yes. Yes. Ah, yes. And he kind of stops and he hands it back to you and says, "A very interesting piece. Very, very, very interesting. Yes. Alchemist's work. Yes. Impressive. Very impressive. One of his better pieces."
The name that he just gives is like.
Roll me history.
I absolutely don't recognize his name.
Actually, being who you are, the DC was only 10. Although it does throw you a bit that he mentions the name. Because the only Algaseth that you know of is the Archmage Algaseth, who it is believed to be the case in the First Age of Alendar was the original creator of the Warforged.
Ah. So I just say to him, I go, Archmage Algazeth, the creator of my people?
Well, yes. How common of a name do you think Algazeth is?
That's very true. So what do you know of... Do you recognize this mirrored amulet at all? I know nothing of it. I just know it's a nice, pretty mirror, but I was given it from a traveling merchant.
Well, the enchantments on it are strange. Interesting, but strange.
It's been a day of strange.
I wouldn't recommend wearing it necessarily, unless you wanted to wear it, of course. But I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think the results would be very beneficial, very helpful. It twists magic.
What if I made... Oh, in what kind of way would you say it twists magic?
Well, it's hard to say exactly, but it changes. It alters the... I mean, it's quite fine work, but it seems to alter or twist or almost inverse the precepts of the magic the wearer is casting. It's so hard to say precisely, but it depends on the spell, I guess.
What if I trick a cultist into wearing it whilst they're enacting a ritual?
Well, I don't know how it would affect a ritual, because that's not the same as the wearer casting a spell. It's a different process. But if you were wearing this, and say you were to a magic meant to heal might instead harm, or a spell meant to burn might freeze. It perverts and inverses the mystical elements of a spell in unpredictable ways.
Kind of wild magic.
Yes, but no. At the same time, no. It's more
like a manufactured wild magic, more
inverse. It's more inverse magic. It's not wild. It's specifically meant to inverse, to mirror.
If I was wearing it, would it also invert the magic coming at me? Say somebody was casting a spell at me, or is it only the wearer casting?
I think perhaps with it you may be able to weaponize it in that way, but I'm not exactly sure how you would do so. Not without further study. No, that would need more study.
I could leave it with you to study. It has no true connection to me other than it being Warforged origin. But I could leave it with you to study if you wish to continue looking over one of Algazeth's finer works.
Certainly. I mean, I haven't looked over anything of his in quite some time. Quite some time it was. Yes. Crazy old man.
And also, how does one become an apprentice of yours?
Well, you must I'm not taking in apprentices at the moment. No.
What about
too much going on?
Curious cleric.
Clerics. Gods. Can't stand the blasted things. Always sticking their noses in, causing trouble.
I just sort of take note of that. Given I am more technologically inclined. But I do sort of like say to him, what if you ever are in the mind of taking apprentices again? And I sort of just hand him over the amulet.
Yes, I'll have a look at it, and yes, I'll think about it. My daughter's always pestering me about, if you had an apprentice, then I wouldn't have to do all of this crap. And stupid
if it
child.
could bring some peace to you and
It
your
does her
family
good.
too. I'm always happy to be of service.
Yes. Good to know. Kill the thing, the cultist backstabbing thing. That'd be a good start. Yes, that would be an excellent start.
Excellent.
It will betray you, you know.
I'll come back.
I'm in danger.
I shall come back later for anything you discover of the amulet, and if you have a change of heart on apprentices and quietening your daughter.
Yes. Later. Yes. Later. Yeah. You were asking something about something else as well. Something about history. You never. Was this the history that you wanted to ask me about? The amulet.
Yes.
Well, then you asked me about it.
There was something with your sign too. Obviously, we'll let you dabble with the amulet to see if you can bring anything else up about that. But your sign is a very curious illustration.
Yes, it is. What of it? Have you ever seen one?
It piqued my interest.
Have you ever seen one before?
It's like I haven't, but I feel like I have. I immediately noticed it on your store, and it just compelled me to even draw it. I had to
Exactly.
sketch it.
That's good marketing.
Swimming in my mind, so to speak.
Exactly. That's good marketing, you see.
Swimming in my mind.
You don't even know what it is, but you have to think about it. See? You see? Yes.
Yeah. But you asked if I've seen one before. So now I just wonder what that one is.
And you'll keep wondering. See, and you'll think of my shop when you do.
You're a deplorable old man.
Ah, yes, insult him to his face in his own shop.
Yeah.
And he just smiles as you say that.
Yeah. I smirk and I say, maybe I'll have a change of heart on that apprentice and I'll allow your daughter to continue nagging into your ears daily.
I'm used to it. Once you've been screamed at by a giant ape man then in a top hat, daughters don't really bother you much.
An ape man in a top hat. Such a curious image. But no, I shall leave you with the amulet and with the consideration of taking a curious warforged as an apprentice, and I'll return to my friends and that one that we cannot trust.
Very well, very well. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have fun. I hope you can find plenty of information of the amulet. So I just leave him dithering to himself, I'm assuming. Head back out as he's probably telling me to watch my back in case I get stabbed in the back or the front.
Mm-hmm.
Or the side.
Or the
top or the
side, yeah.
bottom.
And then, yeah, I'll sort of reacquaint myself with my companions.
Yep, you head back out and you meet back up with the group.
He is a strange man. But I kind of like him.
I kind of don't.
I think he's swell.
No, I just gave him the amulet to look over. Apparently, it's created by the person that created me, a Warforged. He created our entire race.
Oh, look, everybody's discovering their origin stories. Adorable.
It's okay. We know you were born in a bright, shiny, unique flame, and out you stepped, radiating the world around
dumpster
you.
fire, and then you just roll out of it.
So to the keg, see if Davroth knows anything about this old group of adventurers, turned cultists, turned murderers, turned murdered.
Don't fancy the Kraken, no?
I mean, we can go to the Kraken, but I'm more worried about you've got a fight in a couple of days, and do you really want to risk an injury from a sneaky shank?
It
Or do you
wouldn't
want
be
the
first
gold?
time, or the second
True.
time, or the third time, or the fourth time, or the fifth time.
No,
I mean, we've all had a long day, right? We should go and top up with some good food, good brew, and catch up with our friendly landlord.
I do like booze and food.
Hard to beat
that's
those,
very
isn't
true. You need to get in the zone for your fight in the next day or so.
it? Okay. You guys make your way back towards the Kraken.
To the
Or
keg.
towards the keg, rather. Let's just see. Okay. Along the way, roll me a perception roll. You can all roll it.
Oh, Jesus. Hell yeah.
That's more like it.
Finally.
I want a nat 20 because he's just showing off.
Talek
Zephyr's
and
still mad. Everybody's
Theodore.
learning about their origins.
Talek and Theodore, along the way back, both of you notice as you're passing by a massive crowd of people outside a shop along the way. Massive lines, like they're crowding to get into the shop.
I guess I pointed to the group and like, shall we check in with them, see what's being sold?
Sure, I reckon Coles can make a gap for us.
I could put them all on the floor, just shake them all. I'm not going to do that until it's a good idea.
Can we see the sign of whatever this shop is? Like, can we see what the shop is that there's a whole...
Yes, you can. And as you approach, even before you get through the crowd, you immediately can actually see the source of the commotion. There is a
Big titty. Oh, God.
There is a magically projected billboard about 30 feet tall, currently on top of this shop. And you can see the shop itself is Sanshara's Emporium of Exotic Goods. And
it's big titty coffee house.
And on the sign, you can see grand opening, Adventurers Amusements.
I think it's time to get to the front of this line.
When is the grand opening? Is it like right now?
It's like today, yes. This line seems to be people trying to get
Nothing
in
could possibly go
for
wrong.
the grand opening.
We just be like, step aside, Lady Seraphina. Important official business. Coming through.
Do you push your way to the front of the amusements line, saying that you're on police business?
Hell yeah.
It's a terrible idea.
We ain't gonna what? What if things get out of stock before we get there?
Well, I will remind you,
No,
now that you've seen this, you have seen these posters around town. And out of character, I have showed this advertisement to the group as well.
Yeah, I was just looking at the poster.
This looks like a dodgy escape room advertisement.
Yeah, it's 5 gold pieces entry and win up to 75 gold pieces. Recommended for 3 to
It's going
5
to be one of those
junctures.
scam ones where it says win up to, but you actually win like 1 gold piece.
Probably.
What do we reckon? Are we gonna take the bait, or are we gonna go and spend our money on booze?
Can we take a moment to appreciate the video that Casey just sent where it says the words amusements wrong?
Yeah, the wording, the yeah. It was a very interesting take on the wording.
Amusements. Fucking brilliant.
English is not everyone's first language, and maybe it's not
Take the bait.
Sanshara's.
Clearly, it's a trick to lure us, the greatest adventurers of Olinda, in.
I'm up for doing something stupid.
But we had a dinner booking.
Don't want to be late for our table. God.
Oh, damn it, we'll never get another one again. Do you know how long we had to book this in advance?
Given that I live on top of the keg, I have a sneaking suspicion we'll be fine getting back there, unless we die in this place. In which case, we probably deserve it.
And if we are going to die, then in your dying breath, you can use the mini weapon.
Oh, that sounds like a good combination.
New amusements, just nuke the entire fucking place. Let's go!
So yeah, let's go. Let's have a look in this.
You're gonna head in?
Assuments.
Assuments.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do we reckon? We're going to head in?
Fuck yeah. We're not
you
quite
head
police
in.
business, right? Because that's a terrible idea.
No, we're not going to do the police business. We're just barging to the front.
We're just being really rude, just using me as a fucking plow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you plow your way up to the front.
So.
That's never going to end, is it?
Very good farmer, you know. He ploughs those fields and sows that food.
So yeah, let's head on in.
To that.
All right, you
One
head in.
Come back with a mini Saladin.
Oh Jesus!
You head into Sanshora's Emporium of exotic goods, and as you push your way through and step into this shop, in addition to the massive crowd that is here trying to crowd around to see what's going on with this thing, you also see the largest, gaudiest assault of color and shape and sound that you have ever seen as you enter this place. There is no rhyme or reason to this place. It is chaos. You see cases with glowing magical weapons, and you see clothing on floating mannequins drifting through the shop, and you see potions and amulets and armor and shields and tents and trinkets and anything that you can imagine. There's a score of it here. It looks like this is just the ultimate hoarder's pile of everything. This is the shop that sells everything and anything anyone has ever thought of, and half a dozen things that you have not. And it's not organized. It is all just everywhere. And as you are led through this, you see...
They can't sell.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I bet we've got something they don't have. I bet we've got something they don't have.
You'd have to see. And as you are led through, you are met by a pair of very scantily clad employees, along with a gentleman that seems to be much more officious in his manner and dress. The other two are kind of trailing along behind him, basically as just eye candy, as it were. And he kind of looks at you and he says, "And can I help you today? You look like the adventuring sorts, am I right?"
Well, you're not wrong.
Up for a challenge?
That all depends. What's in it for us?
Well, the winnings, of course. 5 gold to try, 75 if you win. Up to, of course, I must say, for contract purposes.
Up to. But it is guaranteed to be a profit if you win, surely.
If you win, then yes, that is a profit.
What's the average returns on someone playing this game?
Well, we've only just opened.
We're adventurers, but we also have accountants.
Somewhere else before.
Would you like to be the first to make the attempt?
You can call us adventuring accountants.
Well, yeah, I'm really up for that, whatever that is.
It looks like we're going then.
Let's do something
excellent,
stupid.
Excellent.
Do we have enough money for this?
Big doors, ready to rock and roll.
Excellent. We'll
gold each.
The lady here will take your entry, and we'll just need to get you to sign the contract waiver, and you can begin. And we are going to end the session on him giving you the waiver.
Excellent. I'm going to take it out of the lady's hand, and I'm going to just say to her, "And my hand isn't all as hard as iron."
Oh, I feel like I've just pulled up terms and conditions for installing an application I'm about to just completely ignore.
Yeah, I've just got this itching urge to just scroll straight to the bottom and click accept.
Yes.
Why the fuck is the Black Razor in there?
Irrevocably and unconditionally waives certain legal rights, including not injury, damage, loss, death, or other harm.
I'm not fucking with another cursed weapon. Oh my god.
No, but look at that hammer you could get.
Given that I know that the Black Razor is incredibly questionable and not something I should fuck around with, something tells me Wave and Whelm are also not things I should be fucking around with.
But it's also a hammer that can resonate through the planes.
Yeah, but this is not going to be a good idea. It's not going to stop me, but...
Physical injury, dismemberment, or accidental immolation due to exposure to elemental forces or traps, death by drowning, vampiric interactions,
Joke's on them, I've got
draining
no
of
blood.
life force, soul essence, or temporal vitality, and encounters with evil or malevolent magical entities.
It's just a standard waiver of liability.
Why are we,
It's nothing
why are
to
we
worry
paying
about.
for this shit? Should we get paid?
I like
Paid to do this?
I like that it may also risk lost or unaccounted for time. Like, we can just lose time from the world whilst in.
It's just a standard liability waiver. Nothing to be worried about.
Release explicitly includes, but is not limited to, loss of personal belongings or magical items brought into the maze.
Curses.
Magical injuries, curses, or any form of permanent or temporary transformation. Emotional distress or existential crisis. Consequences of attempting to wield Black Razor, Wave, or Whelm for any purpose not explicitly authorized. Adverse outcomes arising from interactions with simulated or actual planar entities.
Why are we doing this again?
Because why not?
Money.
We're not allowed to destroy any property, real or magical. Attempt to escape via dimensional rifts. Or wield magical items for personal use or external sale.
Yeah. And I think on that, that's a good note to end tonight's session on. And we'll pick up there next week.
What in the fuck are we signing up to?
Vampiric interactions resulting in bloodletting. Sure.
Adventurer Samsumens.
Sponsored by Shan, Shara's Emporium of Exotic Goods.